Hi, everyone. Welcome over to Katie's House Foundation. Today, we are going to be talking about the Normalize Money Project and Healing Meadows. We are going to be having a class in June 2025 here in town. And so Pam Nelson has joined us today to talk about Healing Meadows and the farm. And we wanted to do a question and answer session for the parents, grandparents, the teenagers ages 15 to 19. We are trying to have at least 20 teenagers enroll in this financial literacy class. So Pam, do you want to say hello?
Hi, I'm Pam Nelson. I have Healing Meadows here in Lake Havasu City, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us. So really quick for everyone listening or watching, right now you're seeing the Healing Meadows page on Facebook, and you are seeing the website across the bottom as far as just finding Healing Meadows in a quick search if you want to go there. Let's jump into 60-second Q&A. So Pam, can you tell us something about your background that you'd like people to know about you personally?
Well, personally, I have my MBA, got that, and then decided that I kind of wanted to be a teacher. So I got my master's in special education and taught through the COVID years, and now I'm doing the Healing Meadows.
Awesome. And then why did you start Healing Meadows?
Um, I could go way back. I could give you like this big long answer, which I would love to do, but I know horses work. I was a little girl on my grandma's farm. I got on that horse and I just felt so complete and safe. So I want to share that with other people.
I love that. So, the financial literacy class, just so everyone is completely aware, we're going to jump over to explaining more about how we tie financial literacy and the farm together and some of the other logistics and need to knows around the June class. And so, if you're looking at your screen or if you want to head over to Katie's with an S, housefoundation.org, you can click on Normalize Money. And what you'll see first off is a did you know? And so there was a recent study that was done that shows teenagers can boost their lifetime wealth by $100,000 by taking a single financial literacy class. But most kids aren't taking it. You can read that full study that just came out 2 days ago on the website. It's at the very top, and it'll talk to you about, how schools are trying to roll out a class like this across the country, but a lot of times they don't have a teacher who is knowledgeable to teach the subject. And so my background, as far as personally and professionally, I have been in the financial space working at banks, Wells Fargo, Union Bank, and some of the others for over 20 years. I'm also a current real estate agent, and I do private hard money. I started Katie's House Foundation as a 501c3 nonprofit because I was seeing a lot of kids just not being given the financial tools. And so initially it started as a free class where my family, the VanderJagts, we paid for the materials, which cost a couple $100s per student for the class because they take some assessments, there's homework, there's audiobooks. And so it's just really important for I think all of us as a community to send our teens, whether they're your grandchild or yours, or maybe a ward of yours, and they're in the court system or something of the nature. So moving on to, why we tied these two nonprofits together, essentially a lot of teenagers, financials can be very boring to them, which is why teaching it in person is very important instead of a passive YouTube experience or a passive experience. Holding them accountable to turn in homework is very important for them to retain the information. And offering the ability to go to Healing Meadows and utilize some of these financial lessons, whether it's, how much does a horse cost while you're working with the horse, and spending time getting to know it and possibly building a bond with a horse or a chicken or an emu. There's lots of animals that you guys have there, which is awesome. And so a lot of teenagers want that experience as well. And by combining them, they get to apply the financial lessons that they're learning, the work ethic, the communication skills, the teamwork skills, and then also the independent skills that they need to be successful as they leave and move away. And hopefully they know how to get a car. They're going to learn in the class because we're going to teach them. We're also, working with a local dealership who has a first-time buyer car program. And then, of course, we want them to know how to lease an apartment together as friends or independently. We'll have some work opportunities for them. Of course, if they need volunteer hours from a 501c3, they can get that from us, a letter of recommendation. Sometimes that's used just for a college letter of recommendation or a work letter of recommendation. It's not necessarily always tied to the court system where they are court ordered, although that is something that we want to be cognizant of because teenagers do sometimes get themselves into a little bit of trouble, maybe a lot of bit of trouble, and they need to grow hopefully out of that before the age of 18 and be looking forward to all the great things that are ahead. So with that in mind, ages 15 to 19 are welcome to enroll. The class is 4 weeks. So it'll be June 3rd until the end of June. And then there'll be a graduation networking dinner where we invite business owners in Lake Havasu to come and shake hands with the teenagers so the kids can, actually apply the interview skills and get dressed up appropriately to shake hands with people. And there is a cost now. So it's $500. It's a donation, tax deductible, which you can make at the Katie's House Foundation.org website. And that is to cover the cost, our hard cost of the farm. And then also these, ink, paper. We play a really cool deal or no deal money game every single class. And so we're talking about 26 hours of learning. It's about $20 per hour of learning. And again, it's tax deductible. We can only have 20 children. The classroom portion is Monday and Tuesday from 9:30 a.m. until 11 a.m. here in the center of Lake Havasu City. I'm not posting the location at this time, but it'll be over on Acoma or South Palo Verde. And then the farm itself is being transitioned from Yucca to Donkey Acres. And so that will be here in town as well. And we will, on the first night of class, or I'm sorry, the first day, it used to be a night class, we will pair the teenagers together. And this way, hopefully one of them is driving and they can then be assigned to go over to Healing Meadows 2 days a week in the early mornings or 2 evenings a week to take care of the farm and learn how to do that and the costs that are involved with keeping animals, a house, a car, so many other things that nobody really shares. And so, Pam, do you want to add to this?
Yeah, with the horses, they're going to, back up. They say, buy a horse. It's going to be fun. But they forget to tell you all the expenses that go along with it. Even a free horse costs a lot. They are giant, fragile little things, they and they just are not cheap. So I think that everybody has that misgiving or misinterpretation or whatever it is that, hey, I want a horse. Well, you got to figure out stalls. You have to figure the farrier. Oh my gosh, the farrier. You got to get their teeth done. Vaccines, and it just goes. The list goes on and on and on. And I think it's important that kids, stop and think about the whole picture rather than just a small part.
Yeah, and don't you find, I mean, as far as kids with anxiety or trauma in their
Oh yeah.
past, it's really helpful.
Yes, we do have clients that come out specifically for equine facilitated learning. I am EFL certified, and I've been doing it almost 2 years. And it's really amazing to see the growth in the kids and how calm they have become when they're out there with the animals.
I love that. So, a lot of people don't get to experience horses and animals because property is expensive, animals are expensive, time, it's hard to carve out time. But for $500 donation, tax deductible, whether you want to make a scholarship for another teenager or you can handle that if you're a grandparent for your own or a parent. They get to experience 26 hours of financial literacy, both in a classroom with me and then also on the farm with Pam. And then the alumni from the June class, if they would like to help in the future, volunteering at the farm or with being a teacher's assistant for me, because we do have a midterm in the 4 weeks. We do have also a final. We have social media that needs to be done, and so they can of course do some internship with me to help with that if they're looking for those skills. But essentially we can pay it forward and we can have larger classrooms moving forward. But right now, June is going to be capped at 20 kids for the summer school program for just 4 weeks. So the first class starts June 3rd at 9:30 a.m. And it'll be Tuesday and Wednesday mornings here in the center of town. And then we will pair the teenagers to go out. So that'll be 10 pairs over 5 days. Essentially, they will be scheduled to go out either 2 mornings a week or 2 evenings or a combination of, to make sure that the farm is in good order and that they have a good time, but that they also learn a ton. And according to this study, if kids take a financial literacy class, if parents, grandparents, people who care, send them to this class, it can boost their lifetime wealth by $100,000. Super important that we help our teenagers. And please head over to Katie's with an S House Foundation.org and you can click at the top of the page. It'll actually say learn more. It's coming up on your screen right now. Or you can click the middle of the page. It'll say the Normalize Money Project. Go ahead and go there and click on enroll. Just takes only 30 seconds really to put in their information. And then at the top of the page, there's a donation link to make that donation tax deductible. Or you can also click the donation link on the page itself. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us. My number is 858-414-2810. Or Pam, do you want to give your number?
928-200-6256.
All right. We look forward to helping the community here. Give us a ring and enroll your teenagers, and we will talk with you soon. Have a great day.
Bye.